What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the Daily Dose. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your time. Today we've got day number 196 of our Bible reading plan. Our scripture for today is Ezekiel 34 through 36, and we also have Psalm 41 on the lineup. So as we walk through just kind of the surface view summary of today's scripture, we've got a few things we're going to be looking at. First, there's a section about how the Lord will be Israel's shepherd. The next section is a prophecy against Edom. And then we read about hope for the mountains of Israel. Okay? And then after that, the last little section of today's scripture is about Israel's restoration being assured. Okay? So back to that first section where it talks about how the Lord will be Israel's shepherd. I'm going to read a little bit here, starting out at the beginning of chapter 34. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Okay, so first thing we see is Ezekiel's being told to prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. You think he's talking about the shepherds that take care of the sheep? You know, the herdsmen, the people that deal with the cattle? I don't think so. I think he's talking about the spiritual shepherds, right? The people who are supposed to be looking over the people of Israel, not so much the people who are looking over the animals of Israel, right? So here's what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to you, shepherds of Israel, who only take care of yourselves. Should not shepherds take care of the flock? You eat the curds, clothe yourselves with the wool, and slaughter the choice animals. But you do not take care of the flock. You have not strengthened the weak or healed the sick or bound up the injured. You have not brought back the strays or searched for the lost. You have ruled them harshly and brutally. So here it sounds like the shepherds, presumably the priests, I'm guessing, in Israel, how they have just taken advantage of the people and used, instead of watching over the people, they're using and taking advantage of what they can get from the people is kind of what it sounds like to me. Then a few verses later, it goes on to say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I myself will search for my sheep and look after them. As a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them, so I will look after my sheep. I will rescue them from all the places where they were scattered on a day of clouds and darkness. I will bring them out from the nations and gather them from the countries, and I will bring them into their own land. That is a very cool promise, right? So basically God is saying, look, okay, if the people who are supposed to be the shepherds, if they're not going to be doing their job, then you know what? I'm going to come and do the job myself. I'm going to come down and I will be the shepherd for my sheep. I will look after them. When they get lost, I will chase after them. I will rescue them. Very hopeful and encouraging words. But the next section that we come to is a prophecy against Edom. Okay? And it says, because you harbored an ancient hostility and delivered the Israelites over to the sword at the time of their calamity, the time their punishment reached its climax. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will give you over to bloodshed, and it will pursue you. Since you did not hate bloodshed, bloodshed will pursue you. I will make Mount Seir a desolate waste, and cut off from it all who come and go. I will fill your mountains with the slain. Those killed by the sword will fall on your hills, in your valleys, and in all your ravines. I will make you desolate forever. Your towns will not be inhabited. Then you will know that I am the Lord. And as we have seen, oftentimes when God makes a prophecy, more specifically, a prophecy of punishment or of judgment, we see that after he makes that prophecy and states what's going to happen, he says, after that, then you will know that I am the Lord. And then we come into this next section a little bit later about hope for the mountains of Israel. It says, but you, mountains of Israel, will produce branches and fruit for my people Israel, for they will soon come home. Okay? So God is talking about the mountains here. He's saying, but you, mountains of Israel, right? He's saying that you're going to produce fruit for my people, and soon they're going to come home. So here it seems like God is speaking about hope for Israel, and it seems like he's using the mountains of Israel as kind of an illusion, not illusion, but allusion, kind of a simile, a metaphor, if you will, to just the land itself. He says, I am concerned for you and will look on you with favor. You will be plowed and sown, and I will cause many people to live on you. Yes, all of Israel. The towns will be inhabited and the ruins rebuilt. I will increase the number of people and animals living on you, and they will be fruitful and become numerous. I will settle people on you as in the past, and will make you prosper more than before. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I will cause people, my people Israel, to live on you. They will possess you, and you will be their inheritance. You will never again deprive them of their children. Excuse me. Okay, so there we have some more good news, some more hopeful news for the people of Israel. And then the last section that we're going to look at is about the restoration of Israel being assured. So God says, for I will take you out of the nations. I will gather you from all the countries and bring you back into your own land. I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you from all of your impurities and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. So again, we finish with a good bit of hope here in this last section. And notice that it says, God says, I will cleanse you from your impurities, and I will cleanse you from your idols. God is doing the cleansing, right? And then God says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Okay? Notice, God is the one doing all of this. It's not the Israelites, it's God. And God says, I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. So that's where we're going to stop for today. But hey, I appreciate y'all being here. I always have a good time doing this daily dose, and we will come hit it up again tomorrow and see what the scripture holds for us. So hey, until we meet again, thanks for your time, and I appreciate y'all being here. Deuces.